Yeah, we just got out seeing Civil War. Great movie. Completely fantastic. Just can't say enough good things about Spider-Man. I came in with some reservations about Tom Holland, but he really did play a great Peter Parker for the age that he's portraying. He looked great fighting, used the classic Spider-Man that you would see in the comics and the animated series, always being sarcastic, trying to distract his opponents with his sarcasm and his talking. It was just a great ensemble. I think everything just fit well together, and it's just unraveling a whole another story that's going to play out with Doctor Strange, and then with the Infinity Wars. I really, really loved it, and definitely, 2 thumbs up, better than fucking Batman v Superman, by leaps and bounds. So do yourself a favor. You're a fan of comic books in general. This is the movie to see. You won't be disappointed.
Hey guys, just saw Civil War. It was fucking amazing. The fight choreography is definitely a step up from the last batch of Marvel movies. Yeah, let's give it up for Tom Holland. Great Spider-Man, perfect comic timing. He was able to keep up with Tony Stark with the quips, which is something I really liked. And overall, it was a good story. It was faithful in certain themes to the original Civil War. I really liked the part where Stark and Captain America did the Civil War #1 cover. I thought that was a really good Easter egg there. Yeah, other than that, the movie's just as good as everyone says it is. Go check it out, guys.
Oh, you got it.
We're here reporting live right from outside the movie theater, AMC Roosevelt Field, Long Island. Nice fucking theater, reclining seats, cheap tickets too. It was great.
Oh man, I've gone on record on saying how Daredevil is the standard for superhero TV. I'm pretty sure these Captain America and not so much the Avengers, but the Captain America movies are definitely the standard for superhero movies.
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely, it was.
Everything should get compared to this.
What I liked about it is that it goes beyond just being an action movie.
Right.
There wasn't I wouldn't say there was a ton of action set pieces.
Yeah. No, you're right. Maybe only three or four sequences.
Right. And we're talking about
they were extended sequences.
Right.
The airport scene was 10 minutes?
That was actually about a 15-minute scene if you think about it. If you think about the build-up and everything.
And it was a lot better than how they showed it in the trailer. It wasn't just some empty parking lot scene.
Right.
It was full of action.
Right.
It was intense. You got to see Giant Man.
Black Panther did his thing, man. Seriously, I did not think they could make Black Panther that cool, and they did.
He was cool. He was regal. Very
right. He was very
dignified, and
even though he was vengeance driven, he wasn't Punisher type.
Right.
Yeah, he was very calm and collective. Very, very skilled.
Calculated.
Yeah. I thought they really chose a great actor to play him too.
It was great. You felt like that was T'Challa.
Yeah.
He was phenomenal as Black Panther. Boseman did a great job.
Definitely. I gotta be honest. I was really impressed with Falcon in this movie.
Falcon and the Red Wing drone was great.
Anthony Mackie, I think he's been
he's come a long way from getting dissed by Eminem in 8 Mile.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I just love the way, I feel like anytime he's on screen in any of these films, he's always having a good time.
Even with the Ant-Man sequence in Ant-Man was, that was fucking phenomenal. I really like the way he upped the game on how versatile his wings are.
Yeah.
He was using shield.
He was just
using them offensive, defensive.
Right. It was great.
And I think this is they really made this version of the costume look more and more like the comics.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Not only that, he doesn't just look like a sidekick anymore. He stays part of his own hero.
Right.
And he can just take care of business himself.
Definitely.
And it looked like Cap relied more on him than vice versa, you know what I'm saying? So it was great. It's great seeing him mature in the movie. And
Black Widow's great.
Black Widow,
yeah.
Oh my god, she's fantastic.
Scarlet.
You know what's funny? Every time I saw Elizabeth Olsen on screen, I'm like, damn, you look more like Michelle.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
got a nice rack.
She looked more like Michelle from Full House more than ever. I've seen her in a ton of films.
It's like Chris Evans poking at Peak at that rack there.
Jesus Christ.
Can't help it. But yeah, ScarJo wrestles better than some of the talent in WWE right now. So
man.
she was great to watch. Just great. Tony Stark,
He was
Robert
great.
Downey Jr., you
Yeah,
can't
Robert
say
Downey
enough
Jr.,
about
yeah.
him. He's fantastic.
Really good dynamic between him and Steve in the movie.
And the funny thing is, I think this is the best Iron Man we've seen, and it's not even in an Iron Man movie.
Yeah, I agree.
This is Iron Man 4.
Yeah,
pretty
much,
You can
yeah.
go for
Yeah.
one more. This was
Well,
great.
I really want that Iron Man watch, man. It turns into a glove.
Wasn't that-
Oh, that was sick. Yeah,
That was his
yeah.
idea, Robert Downey. He's the one that came up with that pitch, and they let him put it in. It was great. It really worked. But yeah, the phenomenal, the amazing, the spectacular Spider-Man. Oh my God.
And I loved how, same thing, that just because this was a Spider-Man springboard, it wasn't like Spider-Man was just going to murk everyone.
Right.
Like Spider-Man took his hits. I think Spider-Man might have gotten hit more than he actually hit other
Well,
people.
Green is
Listen,
one
Yeah,
there.
exactly.
I'd say it was 50-50. He put a beating on some people.
Oh yeah.
And he took some licks. I mean,
Had some great action sequences.
Especially the
His-
Captain America sequence.
right.
Oh,
That was
man.
great. Yeah.
His sarcasm was on point.
Yeah.
How awesome was it that Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark wants to bang Aunt May? Like,
Dude, no one should want to fuck Aunt May. Like, listen,
what?
I love Marissa Tomei, but that is not Aunt May. Like,
It's not Aunt May, so that's just May,
Listen.
as Peter called her at the end.
listen. Aunt May should never make me put a dent in my shorts. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, man. But
god damn, she was hot in this film.
She looked good, even though she's getting to her 50s and whatnot. And she
don't mean
don't
a thing.
matter, you know.
Exactly,
See,
don't mean
like
a
fine
thing.
wine.
If that's what 50 looks
I
like,
like to
then.
drink her
Yeah.
every night and stay youthful too.
Oh, man.
Damn. But yeah, it was great. What other great parts?
Like I said, I was a big fan of the airport sequence, even the opening sequence. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The flashbacks. And
Yeah. I mean, everything.
Bucky, you know.
Well,
yeah,
it's flashbacks that make sense.
Yes,
you know.
exactly. Not Arrow flashbacks.
The Arrow back. Arrowverse flashbacks, yeah.
Fuck Arrow. Yeah, it was. You know, Bucky. We got to see more of normal Bucky, not just the
Yeah, not
orbs.
Yeah.
just super soldier.
It was really cool seeing those scenes when Bucky and Cap were just being friends.
Yeah, just reminiscing about Brooklyn,
Yeah.
blowing
Yeah.
money on some girl, Dolores, whatever the redhead
Dot.
name
Yeah,
was.
Dot.
You know,
Yeah.
so it was cool. You know, they're just a bunch of kids still at heart. You know.
Yeah.
No,
And
yeah.
he just wanted, at the end, he just wanted to save his friend. That's the only family he has
it
left.
was parts like that is where it really shined as like a buddy comedy.
Yeah.
And I was okay with that. You know?
Yeah, it worked. You know, I felt bad, you know, finding out how Tony Stark's parents died. It was great how they actually put that all together from the
Right.
beginning, middle, and the end.
Yeah.
How all this wrapped up into one giant scheme by Zemo.
Yeah.
So,
Let's talk about Zemo for a minute.
Yeah, Joe.
Zemo was I like Zemo because he wasn't super powered.
Right.
You know, he's just a regular dude. Same thing with vengeance and guilt seem to be the recurring themes in
Right.
this movie, and accountability. And,
Right.
You know, on one end of the spectrum, you have Black Panther with him wanting vengeance, and then you have Zemo, his whole family was wiped out.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and the Avengers really are at fault. So, and then I didn't catch the lady's name, but the lady at
That was
MIT,
Alfie Woodward.
yeah.
Yeah.
When she confronts Tony Stark about her son getting killed in Sokovia. Yeah, I mean, in that regard, Stark's right that heroes needed to be put in check.
that was like a wake-up moment for him because you
Right.
could see his face. He was,
Right.
you know, distraught. He was taken by surprise. It's
Well-
not something that he expected to be.
Those are those real moments. Everyone thinks like a movie is only realistic when just because like it's darkly lit and there's like a sad mood. Like
It's
no,
real-life events.
real life events.
Right, I
That's
mean-
what makes a movie realistic.
And like anyone who's ever experienced survival guilt knows how much of a motivational factor that can be.
Right.
No,
And it's
absolutely.
good that this movie didn't just play that everyone's out to kill someone for something.
Right.
There was all these different shades of guilt and accountability.
It was a well-plotted scheme.
And it
well
was
plotted.
one of those things where I'm really glad. I mean, I read that the Russo brothers, this is how they wanted it to be filmed, where you know they didn't want this movie just to be pro Cap or to be pro Iron Man. They wanted you to leave the theater thinking, all right, Iron Man was kind of right, and so was Cap to a degree. You know?
Whose side are you on? Yeah, you have to make the choice as a viewer.
You know, when you get all the evidence laid out in front of you, you know, yeah, Bucky didn't blow up those people. He didn't kill the king of Wakanda. And then you got Tony, you know, realize, okay, I'm here to help now. And then Zemo had to spoil that, show him that Bucky killed his parents back in 1991. And that kind of just started the Civil War right over again. And, you know, I'm on the fence with that because, yeah, that's the guy that killed your parents. But he was brainwashed. He did, you know, he wasn't in control of himself.
No, but in that moment you don't see that.
Yeah,
I know.
your mind is
Absolutely.
clouded.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
That's just
all
that
you're
blind-
seeing is red.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
that
Kill Bill
blind-
moment.
Yeah,
you know?
that blind rage.
And I'm right there
yeah.
with you. And I probably would want to beat the shit
And-
out of him too,
Right.
just to take out my frustrations.
No, and again, that plays into guilt because remember in the MIT sequence,
Yeah.
Stark was like, "This is how I would have wanted it to play out,"
Right.
meaning that it didn't play out that way.
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
You know, and again, those things that you didn't get to say before someone dies, and
Right.
again, that can eat at you. And then when you find out someone standing 10 feet away from you is the reason why you don't have that moment now.
Right.
Exactly. You're like,
Well, and to be fair, it's like if Alfred Woodward was a man and she wanted to go out and beat the shit out of Tony Stark and take his life, according to him, she would be in the right in a sense, because you're trying to do that to Bucky. You know what I mean? So it is about vengeance. I mean, this whole film is about vengeance.
Vengeance and vengeance.
It's the theme.
Guilt, accountability, yeah.
And you know, it was good.
And again, I like that just because it was a Captain America movie, it wasn't like, oh, Cap's right.
Right, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it really wasn't a Captain America movie. It was.
I mean, it was.
Yeah.
He was still the driving theme. Driving character.
It had so many other supporting characters that it didn't feel like it was just
Right.
his solo
No,
film.
right, definitely. It wasn't just a Captain. It wasn't Captain America and his friends.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
But like he's the one that had to make the hard choices.
No, definitely.
Which makes it his film basically, because everything was kind of like up to him. Like
no, everything was Cap centric.
right. So the people who were like with Cap basically followed suit with what he was saying. Like, you know, Falcon was like, it's kind of like ride or die. I'm going with you, buddy. You know what I mean? Like,
Hell yeah.
I mean, it was interesting. I mean, they played many angles. I mean, I loved it.
There was the gray. You know, some people like to live just, you know, right or wrong, but there was no clear right or wrong.
Right.
You know, there was that middle ground, and
Like, this is something DC needs to take note of. You have a movie
definitely.
that wasn't so lighthearted.
What's DC?
what is this DC you speak of?
Discomfort constantly. I don't know. It's that's how you feel when you sit and watching their movies. You just constant discomfort. You have Marvel that's very, you know, all lighthearted, but you have, you know, these real moments going on.
Well, see, that's the thing is that like with this one wasn't as lighthearted as,
No, it
as
wasn't.
the other stuff. And that's what I liked about it.
It still was funny at its points. They had their, they knew when to, you know, add the comedic. You know,
Right. Yeah, unlike Ultron, they didn't overdo it with the humor.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Like all the funny moments were quick. Like
This movie, it was way better than
like, hey,
Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Move your seat up. Like, you know
That was hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like
to me, yeah.
it's like two brothers, you know, just fucking with each other.
Or even when after he kissed Peggy Carter, I was waiting for one of them just to be like,
I know they're like grinning like, yeah, we approve, bro.
I'm sure there's a deleted scene with Falcon like,
Get your dick wet, bro.
Yeah.
That time.
Well, yeah, again, those are those human moments.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when your boys are kissing a girl, yeah, they're gonna do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
boy.
That's
How old we get? We still kids, man.
yeah. Again, that is real life.
right.
You know what I mean? It's not just sitting in a room in your little cave, all depressed and moody, and you know what I mean? Like,
See, this is the winning formula. Marvel has it. You know, you got to make a movie reflect real life. Yes, it's about superheroes. It's about things that don't really exist, but you put it in a realistic way, and it just works. Marvel.
Not everything has to be grounded and gritty.
Exactly.
That's the lesson that DC
well,
needs to
no,
learn from.
it's things should be grounded. It doesn't need to necessarily be gritty.
No, it's things that
Because grounded is what allows things for us to be able to connect with. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's just like people have a different perception of the word grounded.
oh yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
No.
that's the thing.
Right.
You know, people think, oh, it has to be gritty and moody. No, it
Not at
doesn't.
all.
Like,
you take Batman: The Brave and the Bold animated series, one of the great ones after Batman the animated series was over there. That wasn't a dark, gritty, you know, cartoon. That was a cool ass cartoon, man. It was lighthearted. It was more like the Batman '66 style, but it had comedy and it had action
Right.
and it had seriousness. It had lessons to be learned. It's not all dark and brooding. Yeah, everybody loves a brooding Batman. I love the gray and black suit. I love that, but there's nothing wrong with Batman being able to have a laugh once in a while. You know, it's
well, I mean, you look at Spider-Man 2 is still probably my favorite superhero film of all time. That one scene with Aunt May where he has to reveal to her about what really happened to Uncle Ben, that was a grounded
that
moment.
was hard, man.
That's a real moment, and that's in a film that is mostly a lighter tone and it's funny with engaging characters. So that's what I mean. It's like you can still be
best of both
grounded
worlds, man.
in a lighthearted setting. All right, it's starting to rain, so I don't want to get my camera wet because it's not insured.
We're gonna do a full-length episode reviewing the movie from all angles, gut it open, and analyze everything about it, all the Easter eggs, and what we think is gonna happen next. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.
Shit, where you go for exclusive for shows, comics, movies, and webisodes. The Road Gallery, the Road Gallery.